First up, the 1968 Washington quarter was issued as part of the regular annual coinage, but its significance goes beyond just being a product of its time. The United States was going through a transformative period. Vietnam was ongoing, the civil rights movement had reshaped the nation, and the American economy was facing inflationary pressures. These factors combined with a national fascination with coins led to a greater interest in collecting, particularly among younger generations. The Washington Quarter was originally designed by John Flanagan in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday. However, the coin has remained in circulation ever since. By the time 1968 rolled around, the design was well recognized, and the coin had become a symbol of American pride and history. But the 1968 coin is particularly intriguing because of a rare error that emerged during its production, a mint mark error that is highly sought after by collectors. The obverse features a classic portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, with the words "Liberty" and the year of minting, 1968, inscribed. The reverse features an eagle perched on a branch, with the inscription, United States of America, e pluribus unum, and $quarter. The large date version of this coin is identifiable by the oversized digits in the year 1968, which stands out compared to earlier designs. However, this particular coin is even more unique due to the error mint mark, specifically a D mint mark error, which is a misplacement or incorrect application of the mint mark on the coin. This 1968 quarter, featuring the large date with a D error mint mark, is a rare anomaly. Typically, the mint mark is located beneath the D on the reverse of the coin. However, some coins were struck with misplaced mint marks, creating a scarcity of this error. The error arises from a die misalignment or a flaw during production that makes the mint mark appear in unusual or incorrect places on the coin. The black color mentioned here refers to a unique patina the coin has developed over time. This is usually due to environmental exposure, such as prolonged contact with soil, water, or air pollutants. Coins in black, dirty condition are often found among collections but are still valuable because they carry the historical significance of being overlooked or lost for decades before being rediscovered. Despite its dirty condition, a coin's value in the collector's market is often determined by its rarity, historical context, and unique features. The 1968 Washington quarter with a D error mint mark is an exceptional example. Coins like these often attract enthusiastic bidders in auctions, particularly when they are accompanied by authentication certificates and rare, distinctive attributes. In terms of current market value, the 1968 Washington quarter with a D error mint mark in black, dirty condition can fetch an impressive value $30,000 depending on the severity of the damage and the buyer's interest. Coins that are in more pristine, albeit rare condition can go for much higher prices, proving that even coins with flaws can hold substantial value if the errors are significant enough. For collectors, error coins like this represent an opportunity to own a piece of history that reflects the imperfections of the U.S. Mint at a particular time. Even coins in damaged or less than perfect condition can hold immense value, especially when they come with unique characteristics like minting errors or unusual coloring. The 1953 Abraham Lincoln wheat cent is one of the most interesting coins in the series. Struck during the post-World War II era, it reflects a time when the United States was recovering from the war's economic impacts. The Lincoln wheat cent series was introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth and quickly became one of the most beloved coins in U.S. history. In 1953, the mint was still dealing with wartime restrictions on metal usage, which is why the coins were made from a mixture of copper and tin. The D mint mark on the 1953 penny indicates that it was struck at the Denver Mint, which is known for producing some of the most interesting and valuable pennies in circulation. It's also important to note that while the general mintage of the 1953 penny is relatively high, the specific characteristics of this coin, its color change and dirty condition, make it stand out as a rare find. The 1953 Lincoln wheat penny maintains the iconic design featuring Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse showcases two stalks of wheat, symbolizing the strength and prosperity of the United States, which is why the coin was dubbed the wheat cent. What makes this coin different is its unusual color change and dirty condition. Over time, some coins are exposed to elements that alter their appearance. This specific coin likely underwent oxidation, resulting in a significant change in its color, turning from the classic copper hues to a more muted and uneven shade. A color change like this, when accompanied by dirt and tarnish, is not necessarily a defect, but rather a product of age and environmental exposure. Now, you might be thinking, a dirty penny? Does it really have value? Well, let me tell you, yes, it does. Coins like this, especially when they come with unique features like color changes, garner a lot of interest from collectors. While a typical 1953 Lincoln penny, in good condition might only be worth a few cents, this particular coin is worth significantly more due to its distinctiveness. In today's market, the value of a 1953 Lincoln wheat penny with a D mint mark in this color-changed, dirty condition can vary widely based on the extent of the color change and the dirt. On average, you might expect this coin to fetch anywhere from $75,000 in an auction setting, depending on its rarity and specific appearance. If the coin has a more pronounced color change, it could go for even more, especially if it catches the eye of a dedicated collector looking for rare specimens of otherwise common coins. Collectors value this coin not only for its historical significance, but also for its unique character. Coins that have aged in such a manner are sometimes referred to as environmentally damaged, but in the world of coin collecting, these quirks can sometimes raise a coin's value. While the 1953 penny doesn't have any mint errors that significantly impact its value, the unique condition of this coin, especially its color change, and the dirt can be considered a form of environmental error. This is a fascinating example of how the condition of a coin can be just as important as the minting process itself. Environmental factors like humidity, salt exposure, or long-term storage can alter a coin in ways that collectors find particularly intriguing. The appeal here is more about rarity. A color-changed penny is far less common than a well-maintained one. And for collectors interested in coins with unique characteristics, this becomes an exciting piece to add to their collection. Next up, the 1995 Washington quarter was part of a series of quarters minted with designs commemorating important moments in American history. While it might not have the historical depth of the 1968 coin, it is still a valuable coin due to its strong following among collectors and its role in marking the modern era of coinage. The mid-1990s was a period of technological advancement and economic recovery in the United States. The country was entering a new age of digital technology, and the economy was experiencing a booming period after the 1990 recession. During this time, coin collectors turned their focus to the unique elements of minting and coin variations, with many paying close attention to production errors, such as those found in the 1995 Washington quarter. The 1995 Washington quarter features the classic design by John Flanagan, which has remained largely unchanged since its initial introduction. The front of the coin displays the bust of George Washington with "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" inscribed. The reverse features an eagle with wings spread, perched atop a branch. The coin in question is the 1995 Washington quarter with a large date, which features more pronounced digits in the year 1995. It's a subtle but noticeable difference that attracts collectors who are keen on variations in design. Unlike the 1968 coin, the 1995 coin doesn't have an error mint mark. Instead, the rarity here comes from the general circulation of the coin, as well as its overall condition. In 1995, the United States Mint produced over 1 billion Washington quarters, meaning that the coin was struck in large quantities. Despite the high mintage, quarters from this year are still valuable due to their widespread use, their transition into modern coinage, and the nuanced variations like the large date that make them appealing to collectors. Collectors are drawn to the 1995 Washington quarter for several reasons. Firstly, it's part of the continued legacy of the Washington quarter series, which has seen little change in its design over the years. Secondly, the coin's circulation condition matters significantly to collectors. Those in fine, circulated condition, like the one we are discussing here, are considered slightly more valuable due to their age and wear. Market values for the 1995 large date with a P mint mark in circulated fine condition, can range from $5,000 depending on the coin's exact grade. Quarters in higher grades, or with a unique patina, can fetch slightly more, but these coins remain relatively affordable compared to their rarer counterparts from earlier years. Despite being more common, the 1995 quarter still holds a place of interest in many modern collections, especially for those focused on modern U.S. mint issues. The 1995 Washington quarter remains one of the most recognizable coins in American numismatics. While it may not command the same prices as older or rarer coins, its collector interest and unique design features make it a valuable addition to many coin collections. Coins in fine, circulated condition like the one discussed here offer great opportunities for collectors to get a hold of a significant piece of U.S. minting history without breaking the bank. Next up, the 1945 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny holds a distinct place in American coinage history. By this point, the United States was emerging from the turmoil of World War II, and its economic policies were beginning to reflect the efforts to transition from wartime production to peacetime. These pennies were struck during a period of recovery, and much like the rest of the economy, the coinage was in high demand for circulation. By 1945, the Lincoln wheat cent design was well established, with Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the iconic wheat stalks on the reverse. However, the end of World War II marked the final years of the wheat design. While the mintages were large, the survival rate for coins in decent condition was lower, meaning that collectors had to seek out well-preserved examples. In 1945, there were several billion Lincoln pennies minted across the country, with approximately 1.5 billion of them being struck across various mints. However, for the 1945 large date with no mint mark, there was still a significant focus on its availability and quality. Despite the large mintage, finding examples in higher grades such as fine or better, especially those in dirty or circulated condition, can sometimes prove difficult due to wear and tear. The coin's heavy circulation led to many of these pennies being heavily used in daily transactions, leading to higher levels of damage and dirt accumulation over time. Much like the other wheat pennies, the obverse of the 1945 penny features Abraham Lincoln, and it retains the classic Victor David Brenner design. The inscription reads, "In God we trust" at the top with liberty, to the left, and the date 1945 at the right. The design, though worn and aged over time in some circulated examples, still offers significant historical value. The reverse, showing two stalks of wheat, stands as a symbol of the country's agricultural roots. E pluribus unum is inscribed beneath the wheat stalks, and United States of America surrounds the top of the reverse. For the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny, errors are rare but not unheard of. The most common error seen on these pennies is die cracks, which can result in variations such as cud or spiked errors, but these are less common. While the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in dirty condition may not fetch the same high prices as its pristine counterparts, any unique flaws or errors can certainly push its value higher. In dirty or circulated condition, the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny typically fetches between $7,000 and $12,000 depending on its wear and specific characteristics. However, coins with more wear or dirt may sell for less, while those with notable errors or unique markings may see higher value. In cleaner or well-preserved condition, this coin could command anywhere between $13,000. Next up, the 1972 Washington quarter dollar. The Washington quarter, first introduced in 1932, has undergone various design changes over the decades. However, in 1972, this coin gained a significant amount of attention due to a distinct error in its mintage. In the year 1972, the U.S. Mint produced a batch of quarters with a large date on the obverse, which, in itself, was a design choice, but more importantly, it also produced a significant number of quarters with a D mint mark error. In 1972, the U.S. Mint was transitioning through various phases of coin production, focusing on streamlining its output to meet the growing demands of the American economy. The Washington quarter was in circulation as part of the nation's regular coinage program, and while it had a standard design featuring George Washington's profile, This particular year and minting issue would forever change its place in history. The D-era mint mark refers to coins that were unintentionally stamped with the Denver Mint's mark, despite the coin's production being intended for a different mint. The 1972 Washington quarter dollar with the large date is not particularly rare in terms of its total mintage. However, the error produced by the incorrect mint mark creates an intriguing anomaly in the numismatic community. This coin, when found in good condition, can fetch a price that significantly exceeds its face value, especially if it is verified and graded properly. Collectors today pay top dollar for error coins, and this coin's value is driven by its rarity and the quality of its preservation. For a coin in good condition, the price can range from $25,300 depending on how well it has been preserved and the auction market's demand for such unique pieces. Higher grades, such as very fine or extra fine, can see auction prices exceeding $500. The presence of a mint error, such as this D mint mark, increases the coin's desirability due to the error's distinctiveness, which collectors love to add to their portfolios. The design of the 1972 Washington quarter is quintessentially American. On the obverse, you'll find George Washington's profile, created by the artist John Flanagan, which has remained the same since 1932. The reverse of the coin features a majestic eagle clutching an olive branch and arrows, symbolizing peace and military strength, designed by the artist John Sinek. The distinctive feature of the 1972 quarter is the large date on the obverse. The year 1972 was the first time a large date was used, which, when paired with the D-error mint mark, created a striking variation that quickly caught the attention of coin collectors. The mint mark itself, typically found on the obverse just beneath the date, denotes the mint facility where the coin was produced, with D indicating Denver. The error, however, lies in the fact that the D mint mark was erroneously placed on coins produced in other mints, which created a rare and highly collectible anomaly. The error with the D mint mark has created a surge in collector interest. Error coins are highly coveted in the numismatic community because they represent an anomaly, a mistake in production that makes the coin unique. For many collectors, the thrill of owning a coin with a minting error is unmatched. The 1972 Washington quarter with the D-error mint mark is a great example of how a mistake can significantly impact the value of a coin. As minting technology improved, fewer errors like this occurred, making these coins even more valuable and sought after by collectors. In recent years, as more collectors and investors turn to rare coins as a way to diversify their portfolios, the market for such error coins has seen an upswing. Auctions and private sales for this coin are frequent, with values fluctuating based on the coin's grade and overall appeal. The rarity of this error, combined with the coin's historical significance, makes it a top contender for serious collectors. Investors, too, have started to see the 1972 Washington quarter dollar with the D-error mint mark as a promising addition to their portfolios, as its value shows a steady increase over time. Next up, the 1938 Abraham wheat. 1 cent is another example of a coin that represents a significant piece of American history. Released during the tail end of the Great Depression, the 1938 penny has become a collectible treasure for many. Its mintage, unique design features, and overall collector interest make it one of the most sought-after pennies in the wheat cent series. The year 1938 was marked by economic recovery after the Great Depression. Although the economy was still fragile, the United States was gradually pulling out of the depths of the Depression and beginning to regain strength. The coinage produced during this period reflects the ongoing recovery efforts, with the 1938 wheat penny being no exception. The 1938 penny was struck during the presidency of Franklin D. Roosevelt, whose New Deal policies were beginning to take effect. These policies aimed at revitalizing the U.S. economy and rebuilding the nation after a decade of economic turmoil. The coin itself was a testament to the resilience of the American people. The 1938 wheat penny with the D mint mark saw a relatively high mintage of around 73 million coins. Though not as rare as some other years in the series, it is still a desirable coin for collectors due to its historical importance and the fact that it's often found in circulated condition. Pennies minted in 1938 with a D mint mark were produced at the Denver Mint, which gives them a unique distinction compared to the Philadelphia minted pennies of the same year. While the 1938 D penny isn't considered particularly rare, its value is heavily influenced by condition. A coin in circulated or dirty condition is less valuable than a pristine example, but that doesn't mean it has no market appeal. Dirty coins in this category can still carry an interesting value, especially if they have unique characteristics or historical significance. The design of the 1938 Lincoln Wheat cent is typical of the Wheat series. The obverse features the well-known image of Abraham Lincoln by Victor David Brenner, his face etched into the metal with intricate detail. The reverse of the coin depicts two stalks of wheat with the words 1 cent at the center and United States of America inscribed along the rim. What sets the 1938 coin apart is the large date variation. The digits of the year are significantly larger than those found on some other years, creating a unique characteristic that collectors search for when assembling complete sets. These large date examples are especially sought after by those looking to complete a series of Lincoln Wheat cents. Though the 1938 D penny doesn't have major mint errors, collectors are keen to find examples with distinctive characteristics, such as slight overstrikes or other unique patterns of wear. Because the coin was circulated widely during its time, it's not unusual to see coins in various conditions, from highly worn examples to those with visible dirt or tarnish. A coin like the 1938 D large date in dirty condition may appeal to collectors who are more interested in completing a historical series rather than looking for perfect specimens. Additionally, the dirt and tarnish could also add an extra layer of intrigue for collectors, who often appreciate the story that such marks tell. In the modern auction market, the value of a 1938 Lincoln Wheat penny, in dirty circulated condition with a D mint mark, may vary widely depending on its overall appearance. Though typically not worth as much as higher-grade examples, dirty coins can still see auction prices in the range of $68,000, particularly if they are in a group or collection of similar coins. Coin collectors interested in the history and character of these pennies are willing to pay a premium for examples with interesting markings or wear. Coins in this condition may appeal to those who are specifically looking for a historical piece to complement their collection or to fill in gaps in their wheat cent sets. Next up, now let's turn our attention to the 1983 Washington quarter dollar, another remarkable coin that captures the interest of collectors and investors alike. The Washington quarter from 1983 features a large date on the obverse, marking it as one of the more distinctive quarters in U.S. coinage history. However, it is the P mint mark error on this coin that makes it particularly special. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932, and throughout its history, it has undergone several design revisions. The 1983 Washington quarter is part of a broader effort to produce coinage for the country during a time of economic growth in the early 1980s. With the increasing demand for currency, the U.S. Mint was working at full capacity. The large date on the 1983 quarter was a noticeable design choice, but what made this year's coin extraordinary was the error involving the P mint mark. In 1983, a small number of quarters were mistakenly struck with the P mint mark, which denoted the Philadelphia Mint. However, the coins were originally intended to be produced at the Denver Mint or another facility. As a result, the Philadelphia Mint error created a rare coin with an error in its minting process. While the 1983 Washington quarter with a large date is not inherently rare, the P mint mark error is a different story. The minting process that led to the P mint mark error was an oversight, but it created a rare and highly desirable collectible coin. In today's market, this coin is valued much higher than its face value, especially when found in very fine condition. A quarter in very fine condition can command prices ranging from $15,200 to several $100s, depending on the rarity and condition of the coin. The presence of the P error mint mark boosts its value significantly, as collectors understand the rarity of the error. Some of these coins have sold at auction for $20,400 or more, depending on the demand and the particular auction setting. As with other Washington quarters, the 1983 design features George Washington on the obverse. The large date style, used in 1983, sets this coin apart from other years and adds a distinct character to the coin. The reverse, featuring the eagle and the olive branch, was consistent with earlier designs, symbolizing peace and strength. The most important feature for collectors, however, is the error itself, the P mint mark. Typically, the P mint mark is used to denote coins produced at the Philadelphia Mint. However, a batch of these 1983 Washington quarters were mistakenly stamped with the P mint mark, despite being produced elsewhere, adding to their rarity and collectability. Error coins, like the 1983 Washington quarter with the P mint mark, have always been of great interest to collectors. These errors occur during the minting process when something goes awry, making the coin unique and valuable. The P mint mark error, while not as widely known as other famous minting errors, has nonetheless gained traction among collectors, especially those who focus on error coins. As with all error coins, the value of this 1983 Washington quarter continues to rise as more collectors become aware of its existence. The market for error coins has expanded significantly in recent years, and this coin is no exception. Whether in private sales or auctions, the 1983 Washington quarter with the P error mint mark commands a premium price, reflecting its rarity and appeal. Next, we turn our attention to the 1942 Lincoln wheat penny with the D mint mark. This coin is another standout from the era, and although its mintage was high, it is prized for its unique features and historical context. The 1942 Lincoln wheat penny was minted during a critical period in American history, World War II. By 1942, the United States had fully entered the conflict, and the mint was working tirelessly to support the war effort. As a result, the coinage of this period often holds special meaning for collectors. It was a time of both production challenges and intense national pride, and the 1942 Lincoln penny carries with it the weight of that history. At this point, the U.S. Mint had already begun to transition into the use of steel pennies for the 1943 mintage. The 1942 pennies, however, were made of copper, and this continued until the introduction of the wartime steel cent the following year. The 1942 Lincoln penny thus serves as a connection between these two periods of American numismatic history. The 1942 D Lincoln wheat penny has a mintage of 684,160,000, making it one of the more commonly found coins in the series. Despite this, it holds significant value, especially when found in higher grades. This large mintage also ensures that most of the surviving coins are circulated, meaning they have been used in everyday transactions, which is typical for coins from this time period. The design of the 1942 Lincoln penny is consistent with the famous Lincoln wheat design. The obverse features a bust of Abraham Lincoln facing right, with the inscription "Liberty" above his head and "In God We Trust" beneath his chin. The reverse features two stalks of wheat, as we've discussed, with United States of America and E Pluribus Unum inscribed along with 1 cent at the bottom. The D mint mark on this coin signifies that it was struck at the Denver Mint. This mint mark is important because it can affect the coin's value. Coins with the D mint mark tend to be slightly more valuable than those with no mint mark, simply due to their relative rarity. Most 1942-D Lincoln wheat pennies are found in circulated condition. The circulated condition of these coins, while typically lower in value, still attracts collectors who are focused on completing their collections of Lincoln wheat pennies from all mints and dates. A 1942 D penny in circulated or good condition will generally be worth $10,000, but those in very fine to extremely fine condition can bring in significantly more, anywhere from $15,000 depending on the buyer. In today's market, the 1942 D Lincoln wheat penny is still an incredibly popular coin among collectors. Due to its relatively large mintage, this coin is usually affordable, but its value increases based on condition. The 1942 D penny with a mint mark is especially desirable to collectors looking for high-quality specimens. For higher quality examples, a 1942 D penny in uncirculated or mint state condition can fetch upwards of $21,000 depending on the specifics of the coin. Auction prices will vary, of course, depending on the demand and the condition of the coin, but as a rule, These coins are considered excellent investment pieces in the long term. The 1942 D. Lincoln Wheat Penny is also sought after for potential errors and variations. Some errors found in Lincoln Wheat pennies, such as die cracks, double strikes, or off-center impressions, can significantly increase the coin's value. A double die obverse of the 1942 D penny could command a higher price, and any unusual characteristics or imperfections can make this coin even more interesting to collectors. Collecting Lincoln Wheat. Pennies has been a popular pursuit for decades, and the 1942 D penny fits perfectly into this tradition. With its ties to World War II, its iconic design, and the connection it holds with American history, this coin remains a favorite among those interested in American numismatics. Next up, the 1980 Washington Quarter Dollar. With the large date and D-error mint mark, is an exceptional coin that has garnered much attention among collectors due to its rarity and the unique error associated with it. Washington quarters, in general, have been a staple in U.S. coinage since their inception in 1932. The design by John Flanagan features a profile of the first president, George Washington, which remains iconic in the history of American currency. But this 1980 edition, with the large date and D-error, is a whole different level of intrigue. Let's explore why the Washington Quarter, initially introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, has gone through several changes in design and composition over the years. By 1980, the quarter was in its third major phase of production, after being switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition in 1965 due to the rising cost of silver. The year 1980 marked a time of economic turbulence in the U.S., with inflation and interest rates rising. Coin production was at full capacity as the U.S. Mint worked to meet the needs of a growing population. The mintage of the 1980 Washington Quarter was substantial, with over 625 million coins produced across the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. However, it was during the production of these coins that an error occurred, specifically with the large date feature. While most coins from this era have the standard size date, some quarters were struck with a large date design, which stands out due to the way the numbers 8 and 0 are noticeably larger than usual. What makes this coin even more intriguing is the D mint mark error. When it comes to the large date error, this feature is immediately visible to the naked eye. The numbers 8 and 0 in the date are significantly larger than those found on the regular version of the coin. This gives the coin a distinct, noticeable appearance that sets it apart from other Washington quarters. The D-mint mark error is particularly exciting because, in 1980, most quarters were produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use mint marks. The Denver Mint, however, used the D-mint mark to signify quarters minted there. The error occurred when a batch of quarters intended for the Philadelphia Mint mistakenly had a D-mint mark struck on them at the Denver Mint. This mistake led to a small population of quarters that are highly sought after today. Collectors are especially intrigued by this error for several reasons. First, the large date and D-mint mark error is a relatively rare combination. While large numbers of 1980 Washington quarters were minted, very few of them have both the large date and D-mint mark error. Second, error coins are always more valuable in the market because of their rarity and the story behind them. The fact that the D-mint mark was mistakenly placed on these coins has sparked a lot of interest in the numismatic world. Quarters with errors are often seen as treasures for collectors, as the mistake gives them a historical context that adds to their charm and value. In the case of this coin, the error has made it an object of fascination among enthusiasts, and it has become a highly coveted item for error coin collectors. When it comes to the market value of the 1980 Washington Quarter with a large date and D-mint mark error in fine condition, it's important to look at recent auction trends. Coins in fine condition are typically less valuable than those in higher grades like very fine or extremely fine, but they can still fetch a significant price, especially when they're error coins. As of today, the 1980 Washington Quarter with the large date and D-mint mark error in fine condition is valued at anywhere between $72,200 depending on its exact condition, rarity, and the demand in the market. Some coins in higher grades have been known to sell for much more, And in some cases, this coin can reach even higher auction prices if the error is confirmed and the coin is in better than average condition. A coin with a similar error in very fine or extra fine condition could easily see a price rise to $100,000 or more in the right market. The rarity of this error coin makes it a great investment for collectors. As more collectors become aware of the 1980 Washington quarter with the large date and D mint mark error, demand will likely continue to increase, potentially driving up the market value even further. In conclusion, the 1980 Washington quarter with a large date and D mint mark error is a coin with significant collector interest. It is a rare piece of U.S. coinage history, and its value is likely to increase as more people recognize its importance and rarity in the world of numismatics. Next up, the 1948 Lincoln wheat penny is another noteworthy piece in the coin collector's world. But this one carries with it a story of wear and tear that makes it even more special. Struck at a time when the U.S. was seeing significant shifts in its post-war economy, the 1948 penny was part of the broader effort to continue the currency system that had been impacted by the war. The U.S. Mint, in a bid to address economic recovery, produced these coins in substantial numbers, ensuring their widespread circulation. The damaged date and rusty lamination make this particular 1948 coin especially intriguing. Coins with these types of damage are quite rare because the minting process was designed to ensure the coins were properly struck with clear details. However, various issues in the minting or circulation process could lead to the problems we see in this coin. The 1948 penny shares the same basic design as the other coins in the Lincoln Wheat Cent series. On the obverse, you'll find Abraham Lincoln's portrait facing right, with the legend, "In God we trust above and liberty to the left." The reverse features the two stalks of wheat, a symbol of prosperity, with the words "E pluribus unum" and 1 cent in a semicircular design. However, this coin features a heavily damaged date. The wear and oxidation over time have caused portions of the date to become illegible. In addition, the coin has a rusty lamination, a common issue with older pennies that were struck from copper alloys. Rust and peeling of the metal are caused by exposure to moisture over time, which can lead to the lamination issue, and the dirty, discolored look is often the result of environmental factors. Despite its wear and rust, the 1948 penny with a damaged date and rusty lamination can still be quite valuable. In fact, it may fetch higher prices than a standard penny in good condition due to its rarity and unusual features. Coins with these types of characteristics are often seen as errors, and error coins tend to attract serious collectors who value the uniqueness and story behind the coin. On average, you can expect this coin to fetch anywhere from $200,000 at auction, though some rare specimens have sold for even more, depending on the severity of the damage and the demand for such pieces. The unique look of this coin, along with its rarity in this condition, makes it a compelling piece for collectors who specialize in error coins and those interested in the different ways a coin can change over time. The damaged date on this coin is a key feature that increases its desirability. Errors of this kind can happen due to the stress of the minting process, poor die preparation, or even foreign debris on the coin's die. Rusty lamination, too, is a relatively rare occurrence that speaks to the coin's journey over the years. While it might not be considered a mint error in the traditional sense, the rust and damaged date make this coin an error in the eyes of many collectors. This coin's condition has turned it into a piece of history. For collectors who enjoy studying how environmental factors impact the appearance and value of coins, this is a must-have. Its age and damage add to its authenticity, making it an especially attractive investment. Next up, the 1982 Washington quarter dollar, with its large date design and D mint mark error, is another coin that continues to excite collectors and investors alike. As we dive into the details of this coin, we'll uncover what makes it so special and why it remains highly sought after in the world of numismatics. Like the 1980 Washington quarter, the 1982 coin was produced during a time of great economic upheaval in the United States. The early 1980s were marked by high inflation and rising interest rates, which had a significant impact on coin production. During this time, the U.S. Mint was producing quarters to meet the demands of everyday circulation while also dealing with changes in economic conditions. The 1982 Washington quarter was produced in three different mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Most of the 1982 quarters produced at the Denver Mint carried the D Mint mark, while those struck at the Philadelphia Mint were issued without a mint mark. However, like in 1980, a small group of 1982 quarters was struck with the large date design and a D Mint mark error, leading to a fascinating and valuable coin for collectors. The mintage of the 1982 Washington quarter was similar to that of previous years, with over 650 million coins being struck. However, due to the error with the D Mint mark and the large date, this specific variation has become a highly valuable coin for error collectors. The design features of the 1982 Washington quarter are essentially the same as the 1980 version. On the obverse, the coin features a profile of George Washington, with the inscription, "Liberty, the year of mintage," and the phrase, "In God we trust." The reverse depicts an eagle in flight with the words, "United States of America" and "A pluribus unum," alongside the denomination of quarter dollar. What makes the 1982 Washington quarter stand out from other quarters is the large date feature. The numbers 8 and 2 in the date are significantly larger compared to those found on the standard quarters of that year. This variation makes the coin visually distinct and easily identifiable as a large date. The D Mint mark error in the 1982 quarter is particularly notable because it was an unusual and rare occurrence. Similar to the 1980 Washington quarter error, this error occurred when some of the 1982 quarters, which were meant to be struck without mint marks at the Philadelphia Mint, accidentally received the D Mint mark of the Denver Mint. This mistake made these quarters extremely rare, and error collectors have been eager to acquire them ever since. Collectors find these coins fascinating not only because of the minting mistake, but also because of the rarity of the D Mint mark in 1982 quarters. Most quarters of that year were produced without a mint mark, and the accidental D Mint mark placed on a small number of these coins only adds to their value and historical significance. The market value of the 1982 Washington quarter with the large date and D Mint mark error in very fine condition is much higher than that of its fine condition counterpart. Coins in very fine condition exhibit better details, less wear, and overall higher quality, which makes them much more valuable in the marketplace. As of now, the 1982 Washington quarter with a large date and D Mint mark error in very fine condition can be valued anywhere between $18,300 depending on the exact quality and the current demand in the auction market. In higher grades, the coin can even fetch upwards of $20,800, especially if the coin is in extra fine or extremely fine condition. The value of this coin continues to rise, thanks to its unique error and historical significance. As more collectors enter the market, the prices for error coins like the 1982 Washington quarter are expected to keep climbing. In conclusion, the 1982 Washington quarter with a large date and D Mint mark error is another gem in the world of U.S. coinage. Its historical context, rarity, and collector interest make it a highly valuable item that continues to capture the attention of numismatists and investors. Next up, the 1948 Abraham Wheat. 1 cent is a classic example of the Lincoln Wheat cent series, a staple for any collector interested in U.S. coinage. The coin, issued by the United States Mint, features a simple yet historically significant design that has captivated collectors for decades. Today, we're specifically focusing on the 1948 large date version of the penny without a mint mark. Despite its dirty condition, this coin can still demand impressive auction values. The 1948 Lincoln Wheat cent holds a unique place in U.S. numismatic history. By 1948, the country had just come out of the hardships of World War II, and the economy was shifting toward peacetime prosperity. The U.S. Mint was focused on producing coins that could support the growing economy. The 1948 wheat penny, in particular, reflects a time of renewal, as the design was still relatively fresh in comparison to earlier years. The Lincoln Wheat cent, designed by Victor David Brenner and first issued in 1909, would go on to be produced for several decades, making it one of the most widely circulated coins in U.S. history. The series featured Abraham Lincoln, the 16th president, on the obverse, symbolizing the country's enduring reverence for the nation's leader during and after the Civil War. In 1948, the design remained unchanged since 1909, but coin collectors were becoming more discerning, looking not only for pristine examples but also for rare minting errors, different strikes, and unique characteristics. This particular version, the 1948 with a large date, became an area of interest for those looking to complete sets of the wheat cent series. The mintage for the 1948 wheat penny was relatively high, which is why finding one in average circulated condition is common. However, the condition of the coin plays a crucial role in its overall market value. In general, over 500 million 1948 Lincoln pennies were struck that year, which means the coin is abundant in circulation. However, a dirty condition coin like the one we're discussing can still fetch a premium if it has significant historical or collector appeal. What separates the 1948 large date from other pennies in the series is the way collectors are now looking for specific characteristics such as mint errors, specific wear patterns, or even dirt and grime that may have accumulated over the years. A penny in dirty condition may seem undesirable at first glance, but for collectors, the story that each coin tells, its journey through history, is part of what drives its market appeal. The design of the 1948 wheat penny remains largely unchanged from earlier years. The obverse features a striking portrait of Abraham Lincoln, created by Brenner. The artist's rendition of Lincoln is one of the most iconic and instantly recognizable designs in U.S. coinage history. While the 1948 large date penny is not famous for major errors, collectors do tend to focus on specific examples with minting anomalies or unique wear. Coins that show distinct signs of handling, wear, or even dirt accumulation can be valuable if they have an interesting backstory, or if they possess rare characteristics such as a doubling error or off-center strike. These variations are what fuel the market value of even a dirty coin in the right condition. In today's auction market, the 1948 large date without a mint mark may fetch anywhere from a few dollars to several $100s, depending on the level of dirt or damage on the coin. While a coin in pristine condition could sell for much higher, one with dirt or visible wear can still generate collector interest, especially if it is part of a set or series with historical significance. Coins in this kind of condition typically appeal to those looking to complete their collections, as it may represent a challenging piece that adds historical value, even if it is not in mint state. Additionally, some collectors are fascinated by the character that dirt adds to a coin, considering it part of the coin's history. Next up, the 1990 Washington Quarter is part of the continuing series of quarters honoring the first U.S. President George Washington. It was first issued in 1932 as part of a commemorative series celebrating Washington's 200th birthday. Over the years, the design of the Washington Quarter has remained largely unchanged, making it one of the longest-running series in American coinage. The coin's obverse, featuring a bust of George Washington, was designed by John Flanagan, while the reverse features an eagle with outstretched wings. By the time the 1990s rolled around, the Washington Quarter had become a standard part of American coinage. But what makes the 1990 coin particularly intriguing to collectors and investors is the large date feature. The coins minted in 1990 with the large date design have become highly collectible due to their rarity and distinctive appearance. The large date refers to the noticeable size difference between the 1990 digits on the coin's date. The mint mark D, signifying production at the Denver Mint, adds another layer of rarity and interest. The 1990 Washington Quarter with the D mint mark was minted in significant numbers. However, despite the high mintage, a relatively small number of these coins are found in fine condition, which contributes to their higher market value today. According to the U.S. Mint, the Denver Mint produced millions of quarters in 1990, but few of them have survived in pristine condition, especially the large date variety. 1990 D Washington Quarter. Approximately 511 million coins were minted. Estimated survival rate in fine condition, much lower than average, contributing to its value. While this number might seem high, when you compare it to the survival rate of quarters in fine condition, the rarity factor plays a major role in determining the value of this coin. As with most Washington quarters, the 1990 large date coin features the iconic design of George Washington on the obverse. Flanagan's portrait of Washington remains one of the most recognizable images in American coinage. The reverse, which was designed by Gilbert Stuart, features an eagle holding an olive branch and arrows. The large date refers to the numerals used in the date 1990 on the coin's reverse. This version of the 1990 quarter is distinguishable by its larger and more prominent digits compared to the small date variety, which was also minted in 1990-1990. In fine condition, the Washington quarter's obverse features a well-defined bust of Washington, with his hair, cheek, and facial details still visible. The reverse of the coin shows a slightly worn but still distinguishable eagle, a critical detail for determining the grade and value of the coin. The value of the 1990 Washington quarter with the D mint mark in fine condition fluctuates based on several factors. These include the current demand in the coin market, the coin's grade, and its rarity. While many 1990 quarters can be found in circulation, a fine condition example can fetch between $10,000 at auction. However, if the coin is in superior fine condition with minimal wear, it could reach values closer to $11,000 or higher, depending on market conditions. Coins that are well preserved in fine condition and possess the distinctive large date feature tend to garner more interest from collectors. The availability of these quarters in fine condition is limited, making them more valuable over time. Collectors of Washington quarters are always on the lookout for specific errors that may increase the value of a coin. For the 1990 large date D mint mark quarter, common errors include off-center strikes, die cracks, and other minting defects. These types of errors can significantly increase the value of the coin, often making them worth much more than a standard version. The most notable error associated with the 1990 large date D mint mark quarter is the possibility of a doubled die or die clash, which could greatly increase its rarity and market value. Collectors are always interested in acquiring quarters with these rare error types. In summary, the 1990 Washington quarter with the D mint mark in fine condition is a coin with growing value due to its rarity and distinctive features. As more collectors seek these coins, the price in the auction market will likely continue to rise. If you have one of these in your collection, you may want to have it appraised to see if it's worth more than you think. Next up, the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny with the D mint mark, but in a color-changed, dirty condition. This coin is one of the most intriguing in the series for a number of reasons. First, let's set the stage with a little historical context. The 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny is a coin that finds itself in the midst of one of the most interesting periods in U.S. history, the end of World War II. By 1944, the United States had already been deeply involved in the war for over 3 years, and the national economy was heavily affected. The U.S. Mint faced significant metal shortages during the war, which led to the introduction of the steel cent in 1943. However, in 1944, the Mint returned to using copper for the Lincoln Wheat Pennies, making them highly desirable among collectors. The 1944 Lincoln Penny with the D Mint mark was produced at the Denver Mint, and it has an interesting mintage figure. A total of 430,578,000 pennies were struck in 1944D, making it one of the more common dates in the series in terms of production. Despite its high mintage, the condition of the coin and any unique qualities like color change can significantly affect its value. The 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny retains the classic design that has become iconic over the years. On the obverse, we see the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. This design has been featured on pennies since 1909, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. In the case of the 1944 D penny, one of the most notable features is its D mint mark. This mint mark indicates that the coin was produced at the Denver Mint, a crucial detail for collectors when evaluating the coin's authenticity and its value. Now, the 1944 Lincoln Penny in dirty condition is a bit of a special case. In most situations, coins that have suffered from dirt, grime, or other environmental factors are generally less valuable because of their diminished appearance. However, when it comes to a coin like this, Collectors and numismatists often seek out color-changed examples for their rarity and unusual appearance. The color change could be due to several factors. In some cases, coins may undergo toning due to exposure to various chemicals or environmental conditions over time. This can result in a color shift that ranges from dark brown or black hues to unique shades of blue, purple, or even red. For some collectors, these naturally toned coins are considered more interesting and collectible, particularly if the coloration is unique or extreme. The dirty condition may include a buildup of soil, oil, or other foreign substances. While some collectors avoid these, others see them as part of the coin's journey through history. Coins that have been exposed to harsh environments or have aged naturally often tell a more compelling story, which increases their allure. Despite its high mintage, the 1944 D Lincoln penny with color changes and in a dirty condition can fetch a surprising value. A coin in fine to very fine condition might be worth anywhere from $27,000. However, if the color change is particularly dramatic and catches the eye of the right buyer, the coin could be sold for a significantly higher price, potentially reaching $30,000 or even more, depending on the demand from collectors at the time of sale. Because of the historical significance of the 1944 D penny, especially its context as the first year after the steel cent, and its wartime backdrop, this coin enjoys a broad collector interest. The combination of the D mint mark, color change, and the dirty condition can make this piece highly sought after by enthusiasts and investors looking for something unique to add to their collection. The 1944 D Lincoln penny also holds appeal for its possible minting errors. While errors in this series are relatively rare, there are some common issues that collectors look for, such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or double die obverse. These errors can increase a coin's value exponentially, and when paired with a coin in dirty or color-changed condition, they become even more intriguing. Collectors are particularly drawn to this coin for its historical value, its mint mark significance, and its connection to a transformative period in American history. The combination of these factors ensures that the 1944 D Lincoln wheat penny remains a popular choice for investors and collectors alike. Next up, the 1997 Washington quarter dollar, with its distinctive large date, may seem like an ordinary coin at first glance. However, like many coins, it holds a significant place in American numismatic history. The quarter was issued as part of the standard circulation coins minted by the U.S. Mint, featuring George Washington's profile on the obverse, a design that has been the hallmark of the coin since it was introduced in 1858-1932. However, 1997 is particularly notable due to its large date variant, which was the result of a deliberate design change made to accommodate different minting technologies and the growing need for clarity in coin production. The 1997 Washington quarter, with the large date and P mint mark, minted in Philadelphia, has become one of the more valuable modern quarters. While millions were minted, the condition in which they are found today plays a huge role in their value. Coins in uncirculated condition are significantly rarer and more desirable to collectors than those that have seen wear and tear in circulation. In fact, the survival rate of these uncirculated coins is much lower, which means those in mint condition are commanding a high premium in today's market. In 1997, the U.S. Mint was utilizing updated minting technology to improve the clarity and precision of the coin's details. The large date variety was a design feature intended to make the year more legible and to meet the demands of new coin production machinery. The large date can be seen in the numbers of the year 1997, with a distinct size difference compared to the regular date coins from the same year. What makes this coin truly fascinating to collectors is the interest in its error variance. While the 1997 large date coins are technically part of the regular mintage, the specific die that struck these coins sometimes produce small errors, such as doubling or weak strikes in certain areas. These errors, especially when found on uncirculated coins, can make a significant difference in value. Collectors often seek out these errors for their rarity, which further elevates the value of the 1997 Washington quarter dollar. In uncirculated condition, the value of the 1997 Washington quarter with the large date and P mint mark has seen significant growth over the years. In today's auction market, these quarters can fetch anywhere from $45,000 in pristine, uncirculated condition, depending on the quality and collector interest. Coins graded by reputable services such as PCGS or NGC can even fetch higher prices, particularly those in gem uncirculated condition MS-65 or higher. The 1997 It's a Piece of History, a product of technological advancements in coin minting, and a treasure for collectors. Whether you're looking to add a unique piece to your collection or invest in a coin with high future potential, this quarter is undoubtedly one to watch in the world of valuable U.S. coins. Next, the 1951 Abraham Lincoln. Wheat cent is one of the most well-regarded coins in American history. Struck in 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, the Lincoln wheat cent was introduced in 1909 to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, replacing the Indian head penny. The reverse of the coin, featuring two stalks of wheat, quickly became synonymous with the coin's identity, hence the name wheat cent. The 1951 wheat penny marks the end of the long-standing wheat design, as the U.S. Mint transitioned to the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. However, the 1951 large date with the S Mint mark is especially prized among collectors. Struck at the San Francisco Mint, this particular version of the 1951 penny stands out due to its relatively low mintage and strong collector demand. The 1951 Lincoln Wheat penny with an S Mint mark had a mintage of approximately 114 million coins. While that might sound like a large number, it's relatively small in the context of other Lincoln cents from different years, especially considering that a number of these coins were melted down or worn down over time. The high mintage numbers in general often meant that large amounts of coins could end up in circulation for years, but coins that survived in fine condition are more difficult to find today. However, it is crucial to note that the 1951 S wheat cent is often noted for its striking details, and the survival rate for those in fine or higher condition has made this coin more valuable to collectors today. Like all Lincoln wheat pennies, the obverse of the 1951 S features a striking portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. Lincoln is depicted in profile, facing left. The details on the 1951 coin, however, are sharper, and the coin itself was struck with a strong strike, giving it a more crisp and well-defined design compared to some other years. The reverse of the coin features the famous wheat stalks, symbolizing America's agrarian roots and its agricultural strength. The word liberty arches across the top, with E pluribus unum beneath Lincoln's bust on the front. The coin's design gives a nod to the country's economy, especially at the time of its minting. Although the 1951 S wheat cent is often considered a relatively clean and reliable minting, certain coins did experience slight errors during production, which makes some variants particularly valuable to collectors. Among the potential errors, the 1951 S over S variety is known for being one of the rarest types, where the mint mark is doubled. This error is relatively scarce, but when found, it can significantly increase the coin's value. Additionally, the degree of wear on the coin can also affect its overall appeal. For example, coins with strong, sharp features, especially on Lincoln's profile, are more coveted. Collectors often scrutinize the 1951 S for signs of doubling, which can occur during the minting process. The 1951 S Lincoln penny in fine condition is highly sought after, and some of these coins have fetched impressive prices at auction due to their exceptional strike and clarity. In terms of market value, the 1951 Lincoln wheat penny with an S mint mark in fine condition can be worth anywhere from $66,000 depending on its condition and rarity. Coins that grade higher, such as those in extra fine or about uncirculated conditions, can increase significantly in value. In uncirculated condition, these coins have been known to reach $77,000 or more, especially when the coin has been kept in excellent condition. This particular coin's demand has been rising, particularly because of the historical significance of the Lincoln wheat cent series, and many collectors focus on the S mint mark coins as part of their complete collection of Lincoln pennies from the 1909 to 1958 series. In auction markets, a 1951 S in excellent condition could fetch much more than even the highest estimates, especially if accompanied by appropriate certification from a trusted numismatic grading service like PCGS or NGC. The limited availability of high-quality specimens has made this coin even more desirable. The 1951 Lincoln wheat penny continues to enjoy steady collector interest. Due to its status as part of the last year for the wheat series, collectors eagerly pursue the finest specimens available. It is not unusual for this coin to be included in sets of high-quality coins, and the S mint mark adds to its allure as part of the S mint mark series of Lincoln pennies. Moreover, the growing interest in the Lincoln wheat cent series overall, paired with an increase in awareness of the coin's historical context, has only increased the coin's value over time. Collectors and investors alike are keen to add these rare pennies to their collections, often boosting prices in the process. Next up, 1993, the Washington Quarter had been in circulation for over 6 decades, and the series had gained a strong following among collectors. The 1993 Washington Quarter is part of the ongoing effort to honor George Washington's legacy. Much like the 1990 issue, the 1993 quarters are part of a continued production of standard circulation coins. This coin is another example of the large date variety, which was a feature that drew much interest among collectors. The 1993 coin's obverse, depicting Washington's portrait, remains virtually unchanged from the earlier versions, cementing its place as one of the most consistent designs in U.S. coinage history. In 1993, the U.S. Mint produced millions of Washington quarters, with the D Mint mark coins being minted at the Denver Mint. The mintage for the 1993 D Washington Quarter is reported to be in the hundreds of millions, similar to the 1990 issue. 1993 D Washington Quarter. Approximately 1.7 billion coins were minted. Estimated survival rate in good condition. Roughly 50% of coins from this year have survived in various grades, but good condition coins are still relatively common. While the 1993 D mintage numbers are high, it's important to note that not all of these coins have survived in good condition. Coins from 1993 that show signs of wear, such as scratches, discoloration, or heavy tarnishing, will likely be valued lower than those that have been well preserved. The design of the 1993 Washington Quarter is almost identical to that of previous years. The obverse features the classic portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. The reverse, featuring the eagle, is a design attributed to Gilbert Stuart. The large date feature is a defining aspect of this coin and is particularly noticeable in the numerals 1993, which are much larger than the small date version of the same year. In good condition, the 1993 Washington Quarter with the D Mint mark is not as rare as some other Washington Quarters from the 1990s, but it still holds value due to its large mintage and unique large date feature. Typically, you can expect this coin to fetch around $6,000 in good condition, depending on market conditions and the specific characteristics of the coin. As with all Washington Quarters, collectors are particularly interested in error varieties. Some common errors for the 1993 D Washington Quarter include die clashes and off-center strikes. Coins with these types of errors could be worth more than standard coins, with some rare varieties reaching significant auction prices. For instance, a doubled die error could increase the value substantially, and this is something collectors actively search for. If you come across a 1993 Washington Quarter with an error or defect, it might be worth a closer look by a professional appraiser or numismatist. In conclusion, the 1993 Washington Quarter with the D Mint mark in good condition holds steady value, especially in higher grades or with mint errors. While it may not be as rare as some other coins, its unique features and collector demand ensure that it remains a valuable piece in the market. Next up, the 1950 Lincoln. Wheat 1-cent coin with an S mint mark, though found in dirty condition, is a fascinating example of the unique place that the Lincoln Wheat series holds in American numismatic history. Despite the coin's condition, it continues to draw considerable interest in the coin collecting community and can fetch a significant amount at auction. But what is it about this particular coin that makes it stand out so much in today's market? The Lincoln Wheat cent was first introduced in 1909, designed by Victor David Brenner, to honor the 16th President of the United States Abraham Lincoln. This coin remained in circulation for nearly 50 years, becoming one of the most recognized and beloved coins in American history. The design of the wheat stalks on the reverse side is symbolic of the nation's agricultural roots. The series was replaced in 1959 with the Lincoln Memorial Cent, marking the end of the wheat cent era. The 1950 wheat cent represents the final years of this iconic coin design. When it comes to the 1950 large date with an S mint mark, it's important to remember that the coin was struck at the San Francisco Mint. In 1950, the U.S. Mint produced a significant number of wheat pennies in various conditions, with some of them having a unique distinction, the large date variety. This is a particularly interesting feature of the 1950 coin, as it differs from the small date version produced in the same year. The coin's historical context and connection to Abraham Lincoln, combined with its striking minting at the San Francisco Mint, contribute to its rarity and desirability among collectors today. The 1950 large-date Lincoln wheat cent features the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, facing right. His prominent image is framed by the words "Liberty" and the date 1950. The distinctive S mint mark is located beneath the 1 cent on the reverse. It indicates that this particular coin was minted in San Francisco, which is key in determining its value. The large date variety refers to the numerals in the date being noticeably larger compared to the small date variety produced in the same year. This size difference is subtle but important for collectors when distinguishing between the two. The mintage for the 1950 Lincoln wheat cent was quite high, with the San Francisco Mint producing a total of approximately 100 million 1950 cents. However, the large date version is considered rarer and more desirable than its small date counterpart, making it particularly valuable despite its abundance in circulation. Coins found in lower conditions, like the dirty ones, are less valuable, but even in such a state, these can command a decent amount at auction due to their rarity and collector demand. Despite being in dirty condition, the 1950s large-date Lincoln wheat cent holds significant market value. In today's auction market, the coin can still fetch prices in the range of $53,000 depending on its overall appeal, with higher-end examples or those that have been cleaned or restored garnering far more. The value is not just driven by the coin's age and history, but also by its condition. A dirty coin, despite its diminished appeal compared to a coin in mint or uncirculated condition, still holds collector interest because of its scarcity, particularly when looking for the large date variety. Coin collectors are drawn to this piece for its historical context and unique features. Even dirty coins can find their way into highly prized collections, especially if they are graded and authenticated by professional agencies like the Professional Coin Grading Service or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. These coins are often sold at auctions where demand remains high for rare varieties, even when they are in a less-than-perfect state. The most notable feature that adds to the interest in the 1950s large date coin is its historical significance as one of the last to be struck with the wheat design before the transition to the Lincoln Memorial design. Furthermore, this coin, despite being in dirty condition, is a valuable find for collectors who are looking for pieces that are hard to come by, even in worn or tarnished states. Additionally, there may be minor errors on some coins, such as die cracks or misstrikes, adding even more value for collectors who seek out these imperfections in their collection. This makes the 1950s large date cent a highly sought-after coin, even in less than ideal condition. Thanks for joining us. Happy collecting!